Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I'm happy and grateful for you. I do not take life for granted. I don't take you for granted. I believe, and I say it, that every day, man, every day that we have, every moment, every morning we wake up, it's just another opportunity for us to right our wrongs. So, remember that you are healthy, you are wealthy, you are prosperous. Everything that your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you are great. We're created in greatness, okay? We are striving for perfection, but the perfect one, Jehovah God, is who created us. Our original DNA is spirit. We're spirit with a soul wrapped in this flesh, okay? So it's Meal Prep Monday. Y'all like my shirt? Look, boom. All right, shout out to B. Burrell. She got this for me. The meal plan, mindset, education, accountability, and lifestyle. Then look at the back, y'all. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Hopefully y'all can see that. I'll put a picture. But I'm so happy and grateful because I really do believe that it's mindset, education, okay? We got to deal with this conscious mind, all right? Because we understand that's the battlefield. No matter what we're facing, no matter what we're going through, the only place that we have that we can be played with, our enemy, the enemy is in the mind, all right? We can educate ourselves and understand how to walk through that season, keep accountability around us like we do on these Monday morning calls, like we do by having healthy circles, like we do, and being intentional on who accesses us. Our lifestyle has to show it, okay? It has to show the greatness of who you are unapologetically because it's who you've been created to be in this journey, all right? So, Meal Prep Monday, and we've been talking about vision. I'm trying to keep this on because I can't see any of my notes because I don't know where my glasses are, but it's okay. We're talking about vision, all right? And I know we're going into February. Even a lot of conversations die off about vision, all right? They solidify or they finish or wrap up whatever they're saying about vision. But I really believe that it's important for us to be intentional. That's the first thing we talked about, okay? In order to keep the vision, in order to go through the process of the vision, that it will manifest and grow, that in its due season, it'll come to pass. I think that we got to continue to be intentional on the things that kind of stop us or hinder us from doing it, all right? So my approach to it is a little different because I don't know about you all. I mean, we at the end of the month and I'm already kind of, I'm in that wiggle room where I start like, like the routines, they start to get harder some mornings, all right? But the intentionality, I keep telling myself, like, no, Nicole, you got to be intentional. Either you believe or you don't. Either you believe that this is a vision and this is part of your purpose in this season, or you don't, all right? But I have to be intentional to talk to myself because the truth of the matter is life happens. Like we talked about, life comes and they have foggy places that like intentionally to fog our vision, to make us lose sight, all right? But I'm understanding now that in those seasons and in those times, that it's not for me to lose sight. It may be for me to be still. It may be for me to have a stronger listening voice, but it's never for my destruction, okay? So while we're going through this season, let me put this on, do not disturb. But while we're going through this season and while we are keeping each other accountable of just walking out our purpose, like it's not even that deep. Like either we believe that we have purpose on this journey or we don't, okay? But we got to be intentional of the vision. We got to be intentional to even know that the vision that we have and the vision that we feel and the vision that we believe, that is coming from Jehovah God. You got to believe that your original DNA is spirit. Your original citizenship is kingdom. We're spirit with a soul wrapped in this flesh. So when the cares of the world, when things begin to come and try to attack us naturally, we got to be intentional to go back to that, all right? And in going back to that, when those attacks happen or distractions, to stop or to steer you or try to move you off your course, you got to not sabotage yourself, okay? We got to be careful with the words that we speak, all right? Listen, nobody's battle is different. All of our battles are in our mind, okay? So why we got to take those thoughts captive. Anything that is not going to help you manifest and grow great things, anything that's not going to allow your hands to touch and prosper things, those are the thoughts that you got to take captive, all right? And then in being intentional on starting your day, affirmations. We having your morning routine, waking up thankful, waking up grateful, spending that time with Jehovah God, okay? Spending that time, whatever, who call it whatever, your little meditation time, whatever. At the end of the day, it's your spirit connecting with the Holy Spirit, okay? Name it how you want to. But you spend that time and then you go and you commune. Your first conversation needs to be with Jehovah God, all right? It has to be. We got to learn how to fill our days up before our day even starts, okay? If you struggle with it, maybe you need to play something on your phone or your radio. Wake up to feeding your spirit first, all right? You have to do affirmation. Well, you do what you want to, but it is, if you're intentional on doing affirmations, affirming affirmations, it feeds you, okay? Because as soon as you start interacting with another human, be it through work on Zoom, be it through email, through someone in your house on the phone, listen, as soon as you do that, natural attacks can start. They do start, all right? But you got to fill your own love tank up so that when they start to come, that you ain't like popping off at 10 o'clock. Maybe you'll make it till 3 or 12 or whatever. But you got what you feed yourself. You got to be intentional on that, all right? We still talking about vision, okay? And the reason I say that is because you are purpose. Your life is purpose. Every day you wake up, it's for a reason, okay? It's for a reason. Nothing happens by chance or surprise to Jehovah God, just to us. So there's already a purpose for you every day you wake up. Do you believe that? Do you even believe that? All right. So we talked about being intentional. We talked about being careful with our words, that, we don't need, we have to be intentional not to cover our ear gates, what we see and hear, definitely in the 5 senses. But sometimes you be so worried about not allowing people to hinder and hurt you. You hurting yourself with your own words. So be intentional to make sure you're not doing a self-sabotage with your words, all right? And then we got to get rid of that stinking thinking. So there's no reason to be intentional, to understand that the battlefield's in your mind, to understand that you're going to try to, you all right telling yourself to rest your own lips, okay? And then we got stinking thinking. No, sir, no, ma'am, all right? We have leader thoughts. We have leader thinking. We're having leader conversations. We're a leader. Why? Because we have influence. Why? Because it's not about your bank account. It's not about all those tangible things. It's about the character in you. That's what creates you. That's what makes you an unapologetic leader, authentic, you, only you, the leader that only you can be. It doesn't matter who tries to clone you or be like you. They can never be you, okay? So even if you don't see yourself a leader, that, if you think about that, make that affirmation if you don't see yourself a leader, okay? Some people have just grabbed like, nah, I'm just not a leader, but I'm a great, helper. You can be, but at the end of the day, you a leader too. All right. You got to lead your own day. If you the leader of your own flock, who you following? You lead yourself. You got to make a decision of the thoughts of what's going to move you in that day, leader. So we have leader thoughts. All right. We got to get rid of that stinking thinking. All right. We have to have innovative thoughts. That's what we talked about. Okay. Now I want us to understand, and like there's an order. So God is strategic. Okay. Everything he does, he's a covenant God, he's a strategic God. All right. The enemy's strategic. The enemy is straight warfare. He strategically plans his wars against you. All right. So you got to understand that even with your vision, there's a strategy. All right. So of course, the first thing that happens is the vision. All right. The vision comes. You see a picture of it. It's like you see the vision. All right. So after that, it gets in your belly. All right. I want to say get in your heart. It should be in your heart. It's coming from your heart. But I'm going to say it get in our belly. Okay. Because when it gets in your belly, that's when you get the bubblies. All right. You get the passion. You're excited. Okay. Because it lives in your heart. Your heart subconscious. All right. I keep pointing at this. Subconscious. It comes from your heart. It comes from your subconscious. Then it goes into your belly when we look at it naturally. Okay. It goes into your belly. That's what brings the excitement and the passion and all of that. And then we start having all these great ideas and we start planning and we're writing it out. But somewhere in them first 3 steps, something happens over time. All right. I want you, Meal Prep Monday this week, be intentional to recognize the things that paralyze your passion. Okay. This is the thing. We got to understand that we can get so excited. Man, we can get so excited on what it is that God showed us. All right. I know what God showed me. I know what he showed me as far as my financial status. Okay. So when my bank account doesn't line up, I've mastered that, y'all. Like a low account, a negative account, none of that. Of course, naturally, when stuff is due and things come up and you like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do, an emotion of nervousness, an emotion of these different feelings come. But at the end of the day, anyone who walking through a financial season with me can tell you, I'm just like, listen, it is what it is. It's going to work out. And it may be to the last minute, but he works it out. So I've gotten to be able to walk through that part, right? But what happens when we get that zeal and we have that passion and we get paralyzed? Now, when I talk about being paralyzed, that's when you like the little hamster in the little wheel. You just doing this, right? Because you're so excited. But you look like the hamster in that little wheel because you got all this momentum, but you ain't getting nowhere. Heart is in the right place. You see the vision. You've written the vision. You made it plain. You got it where people who come see it can run with you. But now you got me running on the little circle thing with you. Now, anybody who know me, y'all know I ain't about to get in that circle with you. I'm be sitting right over there. But what I want you to recognize this week, be intentional. Start finding out the things that paralyze your passion, that stops you from what like that excitement, that thing that excites you. All right. Think of a little kid who gets a toy. When they first get a toy, they're so excited. They just, it don't matter that they got a room full of toys. It's that one toy that they want. All right. Your vision, your purpose is that one toy that they want, that you want. So what makes you like start losing focus of that? Do you start looking at all the other things around you? Do you start seeing that you have so much that now you're doing this and you're not prioritizing? Or are you looking at the toy that your neighbor has and sees that his is bigger and faster and better? And now you almost don't even appreciate yours. See, I'm saying this because what I'm realizing, even coming to the end of the month, going into February, like that whole carpal tunnel, whatever that I have for my passion, for my purpose, for my vision, life, things start to happen. And for me, January, I feel like, it was a year for my dad. It was a year of planning for my 50th. It was all these new things and whatever. And I do the best that I can to stay still focused on my vision. But if I'm honest with you today, as it's the 30th of January, like I'm good in certain parts, but now I'm going into that next step. See, with vision, you got to walk it out all year. You got to keep walking it out until it comes to pass. So we do good in walking, we perfect this part, but something stops, all right? We start slowing down. This is why you got to take these things that we're talking about, being intentional, don't self-sabotage, be an innovative thinker, leader thoughts, okay? Understand, educate yourself on what a true leader is. It's not money, it's your influence. Like you start doing this personal growth and self-development so that you can go to the next step. All right. So now we good. We know we got a vision. All right. We're writing the vision down. And y'all know that that's an open document. Okay. You get the foundation of your vision, what's going to happen. But as you have it, you got to be willing to give room for it to grow. See, I got a visual little vision board, but I keep a digital one because on my digital, I add to it. All right. You got to have a place, have a journal. I got one. I can't read it because I don't have my glasses. See, a little writing all small, but you got to have a place where you are putting the steps, the changes, all right? Write in pencil if you don't like to mark out your sheet. But you got to be intentional on these things. You got to have one by your bed if it's not the same one. I prefer to keep it all together. That's why I get one that I can carry with me because it's always adding. You're getting instruction, you're getting direction. You're walking it out and realizing the way you thought something was going to happen isn't. So you learn to be still and pivot in those spaces. All right. So that's that. But you also have to understand the emotions that come because as you start like accomplishing things, you get excited. You get happy. That's what is supposed to come with that. Then you start preparing, you start writing instruction. But when those instructions get blurred, don't let it paralyze you. Because something you thought was going to happen a certain way doesn't happen that way. Don't let it paralyze you and then you drop your own ball. That's a trick of the enemy. Okay? The prince of this air wants to kill, steal, and destroy you naturally, you emotionally, you spiritually. That is his goal. Like it doesn't matter. So he'll come with these little things that will start gearing us off. And it don't have to be a big boom bam. It don't have to be a big car accident. It's the little foxes that destroys the vine. Okay? If you guard it, sometimes you may come and your whole little thing is gone because whatever animals come eat it, come eat your little stem. But most of the time, you don't even see that the little fox is in there eating at the root. until now you keep coming out and all your little stuff dying. All right. So this week, I want you to be intentional to find those little foxes, the things that paralyze you. Okay. We going into February. We're not going to be like the statistics. All right. Because we understand that our vision, our purpose, our passion, it came from Jehovah God. It is the reason we walk this out. We're not going to keep being the hamster. Listen, if you've been doing something the same way and it don't work, let's choose this year to like try something new. All right? Just try something different. It don't have to be an extreme. If you get up every morning and you pray at 7 o'clock for 15 minutes, then keep getting up. But let's try 30 minutes. Because maybe we getting up too soon. So it's not that what we're doing is wrong, but maybe we're not staying there long enough to get the next part. Okay? See, the enemy will make you think, why are you doing that? It don't work anyway. The devil is a liar. Everything that you feed into your soul that's going to help with your spirit or feed from your spirit to your soul, however you want to look at it, you killing your flesh. All right? It's fuel for you inside to keep going. Okay? So we got being intentional. We are not going to sabotage ourselves with our thinking, our words. Okay? We're going to learn how to take those, understand the battles here, and it has no authority or power until we give it authority and power. Y'all know that y'all can control. You can control the foolishness in your life, right? You can't control it. Because if it's destined to come, you can control the foolishness in your life. Now, I'm not saying you can control death. That's something that comes, but we're born to die. Okay? So don't mean it like that. But I'm talking about these little attacks that come. Well, let me rephrase that, because I don't need nobody send, I'm not talking foolishness. But you can control the outcome because the outcome is already there. So you can control the walking through it, all right? Because it's a fixed fight and we've already won, okay? So you can control your steps naturally to line up with the steps that are predestined and preordained, and it's going to all work for your good. So hopefully that makes sense what I'm trying to say. Everything don't feel good. You got to go through valleys. You got to go through the heat, okay? It's 10:25. You got to go through the heat. It's heat and pressure that make diamond and gold, okay? So you got to go through those things, but you ain't got to get burnt up. And you don't have to be squeezed to where it kills you. So there's a plan already, purpose for those seasons in your life. So you control. Because if you stepping out of the predestined steps, then the heat goes higher than what it needs to. Then you get a little scarred, okay? That's when you get the little burn mark. But when you're in your preordained and predestined steps, it's hot all around you. You might have to sweat a little. You're going to be uncomfortable, but you don't come out burnt, and you definitely don't come out smelling like smoke, okay? So, Meal Prep Monday. I apologize. I couldn't find my glasses, so I couldn't read it. But that's the gist of what I wanted to share this week, okay? We're going to be intentional, all right? We're intentional on our vision. We're still writing out our vision, okay? So whatever part of your life and your journey right now God is dealing with you, just focus on that. Have them all, have the different areas of your life, have a vision for them all. But wherever he's telling you to focus, because he never put no more on me than I can bear. He never puts no more on you than you can bear. God never overwhelms us, okay? That is not his purpose for us to feel overwhelmed, okay? So you got to know where you're supposed to be focusing at and be willing to shift and pivot where you need to. Don't make it so black and white that you don't leave room for the limitless God. Don't limit yourself. So you be intentional, Don't sabotage yourself. Be an innovative thinker, all right? Get rid of your stinking thinking, okay? And then be intentional to see the things that paralyze you in your excitement or in your passions, all right? Those things that try to come and keep you in this little rabbit hole to where you exhaust yourself, okay? That's what we're going to do this week, all right? So, again, I'm Nicole D. Jones. I want you to remember that you are healthy, you are wealthy, you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you are great. Stay focused, stay humble, and stay positive. Continue to be the best version of you unapologetically. Do it through a posture of submission and humility, never arrogance and pride. All right? Continue to submit to Jehovah God. Your life will walk out the humility that it needs. Your character, that part of your character will grow, and you'll be able to go through anything, everything. Stand in the places of fire, but you will not smell like smoke. All right? So I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.